What's up YouTube, Mr. Lamacy here, and today we're going to be checking out the 2.6 patch notes as they are live now. This is for Diablo 2 Resurrected Ladder Season 3. Now I haven't looked at anything, I haven't seen anything. Maybe we got some cool stuff coming, stackable currencies maybe, more characters, extra shared tabs. Maybe they're changing up skill builds, I don't know. I haven't seen any of it. And I am excited to dive in. So let's take a look, everybody. Let me fix my screen. Diablo 2 Resurrected Ladder Season 3 coming soon. You've returned safely. Join us around the campfire, Mr. Lamacy. Oh, that's nice. They named me again in it. The stench of hell grows in intensity. Crazed snarls can be heard from afar. Demons birthed straight from your nightmares surge towards you. Meet them axe first. Ooh, axe first. Is that a hint? Are they buffing axes? Foreshadowing? Maybe. February 16th when Ladder Season 3 starts. We have quite a few updates to Diablo 2 Resurrected to share. Ooh, continue on for a more comprehensive look at what is releasing with Ladder Season 3 and patch 2.6. 8 new rune words, sundering charms, patch 2.6, terror zones, quality of life updates, and bug fixes. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's looking good. Let's see. Our first two Ladder seasons for Diablo 2 Resurrected showed just how adept your adventurers were at saving Sanctuary, racing to be the first to cement their names on the leaderboard, including Teo1904 and Mr. Llama SC claiming 1-2. That's nice of them to put in there, you know, that I was there, I got first, and you know, he got it. That was nice of them. All while striking fear into the tormented hearts of their demonic adversaries in the process. Ladder Season 3 will begin on February 16th, probably around 5 p.m. Yeah, there you go, 5 p.m. down there. Ushering a new opportunity for brave adventurers to race to level 99 and amass powerful loot along the way. We cannot wait to see how the 8 new rune words will influence the leaderboard. Or hopefully allow new players the opportunity to see their name on it for the first time. That's cute. We're also introducing changes to the availability of sundering charms. Are they called sundering? I've always just called them Sunder. Existing rune words and new Heraldric Cube recipes. Whoa. With the start of Ladder Season 3. More information about these can be found in the following sections. Okay, so the launch timing is going to be the same deal as before, right? Europe gets screwed. America has to stay up super late, and Asia gets the real creme de la creme time slot. As was with previous seasons, Ladder Season 3 will feature 4 different modes: pre-expansion ladder, pre-expansion hardcore ladder, ladder, and hardcore ladder. For those new to Ladder Seasons, you might be wondering what happens to your shared stash loot once the current season ends. This is important. If you have loot already, I'm gonna fire up Diablo 2. If you have loot currently sitting there from the previous ladder, you need to go get it out, right? I'm going to do a quick, tiny demonstration. I've already removed all my stuff because, you know, prepared. But you would go to your non-ladder character. You would log in. You go to your stash. And then right here, there's this little check mark. You click that, and these 3 shared tabs. Oh, I have gold I can remove. That's cool. And then you can put your gold away, right? So these are remove-only tabs, and basically you're just going to move stuff out and over from here, right? So any items you have, as soon as you click them out, though, you cannot move them again. That's it. You cannot, like, go back to the shared and, you know, now move it, like, move it around in these tabs. No, it is gone for good as soon as you do that. And when I say gone for good, I mean it now becomes part of your, you know, whole ladder. So make sure you have a little bit of space. I just want to get all my gold. All right, we're maxed on gold. Nice. And there you go. You can see I no longer have that past tabs piece right there. Anyways, let's go back to patch notes. I just want to show you guys that. Make sure you do that, because when this ladder drops February 16th, it will erase all of the stuff that's in there currently and overwrite it with your new ladder gear. That is then transferring down. Once Ladder Season 2 ends, all ladder characters will be transferred to their respective non-ladder group. All items in the character's group shared stash go into a new withdraw only set of shared stash tabs, denoted by checkmark box. Any items from last Season 1 stored in the withdraw only tabs will be lost at this time. So if you lose your SOJ or Enigma, don't come into my chat and yell at me and say, Mr. Llama, I didn't know. You've been warned. And if you didn't watch this video or the previous ones where I've talked about it, well, why are you not watching enough of my content? That's sounds like your own sort of problem at that point. You will have all of Ladder Season 3 to withdraw any items you would like to keep from Season 2 when Ladder Season 3 ends. Blah, blah, blah. It'll do the same thing. Be sure to get items out before then or they will be forever lost. 8 new rune words. Wow, 65% faster run walk, 40 IAS, 6 to evade. I kind of like that. Holy cow, that is a lot of faster run walk. So we're getting a look right here. We'll dive into it later, but wow, that is a big change. We need like a rune word review. Individually, they are mighty, but when uttered in unison, a great force is awoken. This is the mystique of rune words. Call upon these archaic forces to transform your ordinary items into wieldable forces of destruction capable of smiting demonic hordes. Introducing 8 new rune words. Our intent with introducing these is to sprinkle variety into a competitive meta, creating opportunities for players to forge new strategies as they race to level 99. The bulk of these rune words focus on bolstering resistance bonuses, while the other rune words are centered on movement speed and assassin and druid builds. Let's take a look. Bulwark, it looks like, is unchanged. Right? Faster recovery, 4 to 6. I kind of wish this was 5 to 7% lifesteal. That's my only thing I would change on this. Replenish life 30, damage reduced, and you get physical damage reduction 10 to 15%. Shale Isle Soul. I think this is a very solid rune word. This is a great thing. You can get it from Nightmare Countess, which is fantastic because this is a little damage reduction, a great replenish life, and then lifesteal for a mercenary. This is really nice, right? This is totally a mercenary helm. You may see some, barbarian or melee character throw it on. I mean, it's not bad, right? Doesn't have resistances. But if you have great res from, you got Nat's boots and some other pieces, I could see a character making this. Cure. Hey, they did it! Woohoo! Haha, we did it, guys. Level 1 cleansing aura when equipped. Which, come on, it's Cure. You have to put Cleansing Aura with it, right? You just have to. 10 Vitality, increase max life by 5%. Poison Res still only 40 to 60. And Poison Length reduced by 50%. I'm guessing because with the cleansing and everything. So you're really going to knock that down quickly. That's nice. You love to see it. You love to see it. I do still wish there was the more changes that I suggested. Obviously, I'm going to be biased because I suggested all of those changes. But I do think having like 5% to max poison res and this roll a little bit higher would be nice. Because it's like nobody wants to like re-roll these or anything. Ground is remaining the same. So they are not doing any of the buffs to that. Hearth cannot be frozen. Let's go, baby. All right. Okay, that's another one thrown in. Another change added. Woo! More cannot be frozen is great. And this is the first rune word. Like, this is huge. I don't know if you guys understand how big this is. Obviously, for people that just, like, rush to the end, get rushed to the end, this doesn't matter. But if you are playing through the game, there is no good source of cannot be frozen. You're either getting wisdom, which requires a pull rune, so good luck, like chance your Nightmare Forge, or you're making a rhyme, which is great until you're playing a character that doesn't use a shield. And then, what do? Right? Oh, you're a Boazon? Too bad. Oh, you're a two-handed barbarian? That sucks. So it forces you to either play a character that just has one hand and a shield that has to be rhyme, or to get lucky and find, Spirit Shroud or something that cannot be frozen on it, right? Your Raven Frost, whatever, right? So now, Death Sash. I mean, there's ways that you can get cannot be frozen, but again, you have to get lucky finding that item. Now, though, from Nightmare Countess, which is when you need Cannot Be Frozen, because normal, you don't get frozen enough. But once Nightmare starts, you get frozen a lot. You can either get your Rhyme Shield, or if you're a Boazon or a two-handed Barb or something, you can make this and you can get Cannot Be Frozen, which is lovely. Now, the other pieces, Cold Absorb, Cold Resist, I mean, increased max life, defense, hit recovery, it's all nice. I mean, the resistances are nice in the Absorb. You're definitely going to be solid against cold, which will be very helpful. But the Cannot Be Frozen, oh, that is just gorgeous. I love that they took that idea and added it. Temper is unchanged as well. So ground and temper, I mean, again, I still think they could have gone an extra step on all four of these. I love that they did take at least these two ideas. That's very solid. But I do wish that they went the additional like +5 max or something to give them a little bit more use late, a little bit later on. Because it's like, well, I can get up to 80%, fire resist or light resist, and that's going to be really helpful. Whatever. I still think they'll be okay. I still think they'll be, okay. They'll be used a little bit here and there. Again, this is a nice, like, budget Mephisto, Uber Mephisto, like, helm and stuff. And this could be on a Trav Barb. I could see someone running this if they don't have their dwarf or whatever. And even if they do, just to, like, really get extra, absorbent stuff. All right. Good changes so far. I think they could have gone further, but the helms are slightly improved. And I love Cannot Be Frozen, and I love the cleansing. Let's move to Hustle, which has changed a ton. Yes! Okay. Number 1, armor. It's now 65% fast run walk instead of 50, and 40% IAS instead of 20. That's huge. I want to go look at my video. Mr. Llama SC 2.6. Runeward fixes. I wanna see what I suggested for the Hustle. Vigor. I said Vigor on equip. No Vigor. But I like the changes they made as well. This essentially is, starting to get to the point of Vigor. 65% faster run walk is a lot. And 40 IAS, this is something that I definitely was noting about it prior, is they're just... 20 IAS is just so low, again. It just really was so low. 6 to evade is also a cute little addition to it. And all res 10. Wow. So really starting to, again, notice things that, like, this is, a way to improve this armor. Because, again, before it was like, why would I ever make this armor over the weapon? The weapon was just so much better that there was zero reason to ever make the armor. Now you have a reason to make the armor. Evade is good, but not broken. 10 all res is a little bit different. And you get 40 IAS, which is super nice. And then 65 fast run walk. Okay, let's go down. Hustle weapon. 5% chance to cast level 1 burst of speed on striking. That is a huge change. But you get level 1 fanaticism. Let's take a look at burst of speed. Because there's a very large difference between those. Okay, burst of speed. So it's still really nice. But you're going from 44% attack speed and 51% run walk to 21% attack speed and 23% run walk. There's still a 2-minute duration, but it's the duration is almost halved right there. And you're essentially having all of those things, if not a little more, which is good. It's still nice. I could still see a Boazon running it on her offhand, but I don't think it becomes a pre-buff really as much. People aren't pre-buffing for 2 minutes, including, minus the pre-buff time as well, to get, just this. Up here, you are doing it. Level 1 Fanaticism Aura. And again, this now changes it. It's taking some of that pre-buff and putting it onto the weapon itself. So now you're running around with Fanaticism Aura. And additionally, this could be a cheap way to get, you know, a little Fanaticism on, you know, the weapon right there, right? Fanaticism D2R. Level 1, which does have a small radius, but if you're using it, party damage 25% if your merc uses it, your damage 50% if you're using it, attack speed 14%, attack percent 40. So the radius is probably the biggest issue with that, honestly. Doesn't really, I mean, 7.3 is not big. So you're going to have a lot. If you're like a summoner, it's going to be like on and off. And if you give it to a mercenary, you're constantly going to be in and out of it if you actually get it or not. But I guess if you have it, yeah, I don't know. The radius will be annoying. That's the only thing I will say. Otherwise, this is a cheap way to get, yeah, 7 yards is like, probably to like right here, I'd say. So, like that. Yeah. 30% increased attack speed. So they didn't buff it there, but they did buff it over here, which I'm totally good with. They increased the ED 180 to 200%. I still think they could have gone higher, but not bad. Overall improved. I mean, I said remove the burst of speed proc, give it more faster run walk, 200 to 250% ED, and then give it some attack rating because honestly it could use some attack rating. And they kind of did that with Fanaticism, right? Fanaticism gives you some attack rating. You're going to get extra damage. I guess because you have Fanaticism, that's why they have this lower. So you get this damage plus the Fanaticism damage. Honestly, they pretty much took it, but they kept it as a level 1 burst of speed on striking. I like it. I like it. That's very interesting. I'll have to test it. Yeah, but it has this as well. So now again, this becomes an item that you know, you can actually use for, you know, other characters. You can use it, you can give it to a merc. Again, the radius is really small, but it has some benefit at some time. You can give it to, you know, you can have it around summons and things. And again, this just removes this from a pre-buff item. This now becomes if you are using this item, or potentially, like I said, some sort of boazon that runs multi-shot could still run this in an offhand. But it's definitely giving less there. And again, I love the armor. This differentiates it. And now I actually still have the decision of, am I making one or the other? I like it a lot. I think that's interesting. All right, here we go. Mosaic increased to 50%, just like we asked. Let's go. When a finisher is executed this way, it now refreshes the expiration timer of the stack. We got that as well. Oh my god. +2 to martial arts, 20 increased attack speed, 2 all that. 7% lifesteal, 8 to 15% cold, light, and fire damage, and they removed the added cold damage. Let's go! Increase to 50%. I did want some of the big buff things. Remove cold damage, add other element damage, and change when using a finishing move. It refreshes the timer. Yes. This is like my rune word now. I'm claiming it. What's the drawback of cold damage? It explodes it. So then you can't use any Trapsins or Sins that want to use Death Sentry. They can't have the explosion. You don't think they removed the cold damage? They did. I know it has Thol rune. They probably actually need to change the Thol rune to another rune. Because, yeah, you do have the question mark of that. So that's the one thing they need to change. They need to change Thol rune. But because there's 7% lifesteal, it's probably Malgol Am. Yeah. And they just forgot to change it right here. That's great. So now if you run 2 of these, the finishing move will not consume a charge, and it will refresh the expiration timer of the stack, which means you can have this cool build of double Mosaic going around and just popping off over and over again, keeping all your charges and just going crazy. I love it. That'll be super fun. I want to play this so bad. So they really are going purely on that, which is, you know, if they're diving into that, then sure, you know, forget about like the ED and all that stuff. Like, who cares? It's all about exploding. It's gonna be silly. Why not make it? Who plays martial arts assassin? It's like, you gotta make it fun. And this is crazy right here. They really did go and add all the other element damage. I'm surprised. So now again, this is gonna be great for that. That's cool. Teleport with Dragonflight everywhere and just start smashing. I'm excited for this one. I really want to try this now. Yeah. I mean, you're really, like, becoming no longer really a physical damage character with it that much. But you're playing this and you are going for, I am going to be, you know, Phoenix striking and, you know, just doing all of them on. So you can have all the charges up if you want. Because every time you finish, you just got to build the charges. But then every time you finish, you get to refresh the expiration timer. Which is great, because if you build something to 2, you can finish and still have it at 2, and then so you can keep it at 2 if you want. You can build it to 3. You can really choose however you want. So it really is purely that I get to have all my charges and just like, it's going to be flashy and it's going to be hideous. It's going to be great. All right, let's move on. Moving on to Metamorphosis. Werewolf strikes grant mark for 180 seconds. 30% bonus to attack rating. Okay, so they did increase the attack rating, which they needed to. Bear grants that. 25% chance of crushing blow, no longer attached to mark of the bear. Wow. Flat crushing blow. That's big, but they still have the marks. So this is the one that they've kept similar. I still wish that they just got rid of mark and added that more into the actual item overall and into the forms. Yeah, I mean, this is literally just even more buffed than it was before. Like, I'm happy they increased the attack rating, though, because that, you know. But, again, it's still in the idea that you're going to shift between forms. Now, let's see if shifting between forms is something that's been added to quality of life. Bored, temporary ground, we liked where they're at and opted for no change. Cure. Given Cure's more niche use cases, we opted to strengthen it with the Cleansing Aura. Note that the base poison duration reduction went down, but the addition results in a NERF buff. Hearth, to build on the theme of this rune, we gave it a bit more oomph to solidify as a go-tier option when struggling with enemies who deal cold damage. Hustle. Most of the feedback we received was around the armor form. The bulk of our focus was to improve that form, but we also saw improvements we could make to the weapon form. For the armor, we wanted to add more offensive utility and some defensive stats in the form of all res. For the weapon, we wanted to make it, as a primary weapon, a more attractive option to increase its viability beyond its pre-buff utility, which they did. Great. Metamorphosis. We moved in the direction of a slight buff to Metamorphosis. We want this rune to really compete for best in slot for Shapeshifter Druids. Mosaic. We went all in on increasing the strength of Mosaic rune word. We want to add extra flexibility by increasing the chance to not consume charges from 25 to 50%. So you can either wield one to get that 50% chance or dual wield for a 100% chance of not consuming charges. We also added an extra effect to how not consuming charges interacts with charge maintenance. I like that they went all in on Mosaic like that. I do wish that there was... I mean, again, we'll see when we get to skills. The 7 rune words and handful of Horadric recipes that were added in Ladder Season 1 can now be used in non-ladder online game modes. Okay. Rune words: Flickering Flame, Mist, Obsession, Pattern, Plague, Unbending Will, and Wisdom. Horadric Cube recipes, the exceptional version of a set and elite version of a set. All that. Sunder Charms can now drop from Fallen Foes in all non-classic game modes. So they have now made their way to non-ladder as well. Does that mean single player? All non-classic game modes. On February 15th at 10 a.m. PST, changes to Terror Zones and a variety of quality of life updates and bug fixes will go live. That's a cool photo. Despite things that we made changes to Terror Zones. Also, Terror Zones are now available in offline games. Wow! Offline Terror Zones will operate on different schedule from their online counterpart, but function the same otherwise. Remember, you can now receive Sunder Charm drops in offline Terror Zone games too. There you go, guys. You got it. You got your Sunder Charms and your Terror Zones in offline. Red font text below denotes which new zones may be terrorized or zones that will now be terrorized in unison. Darkwood and Underground Passage, Black Marsh and The Hole, that's nice, Jail and Barracks. Those are good additions. Ancient Tunnels can now be terrorized. Wow. Great Marsh, ugh. But they got rid of the sewers, which is nice, because the sewers was the worst zone ever. Ugh, Great Marsh, though. Bloody Foothills, Frigid Highlands, and Abaddon, Glacial Trail, and Drifter Cavern, and Ariat Plateau, and the Pit of Acheron. That's nice, because again, those were like so fast, you'd go through them and it's like, I want a little more. I like that they're making it so you can have a little bit more of a run, you know, stay in the game a little longer. Our adjustments are focused on adding more variety to the available terror zones and improving the playability of existing zones. We added some new zones, brought in others, and even removed a zone that was generally unpopular with our players. Yeah, nobody wanted to go in the cross sewers. It was just horrible. Quality of life updates and fixes. Auras from another player or mercenary no longer remove passive bonuses granted by the same skill, such as Flickering Flames resist fire aura from a mercenary, overriding a paladin's base resist fire from their own hard points and resist fire. That's interesting. This also fixed an issue where Paladin's Blessed Aim Aura would overwrite the attack rating increase granted by Amazon's Penetrate skill. What? So if you had a Blessed Aim Aura running next to you, you're like, why can't I hit things? I'm supposed to get a buff. The Assassin Trap skills now benefit from -% to enemy resistance? What? What? Griffins! Crescent Moon? Griffins? What? Holy moly! Trapsin back on the menu. Fixed an issue where missiles created from martial arts charge-up skills would not gain the benefit to +% to elemental skill damage modifiers. So now martial arts sin. Alright, I might be an assassin this time around, you guys. Forget Necro. I might be playing assassin and making Mosaic and being stupid. Amazon fixed an issue where strafe was not applying bonus attack rating to attacks. Strafe bug is fixed! And where it was still doing 75% weapon damage after a previous balance change. Oh my gosh. Wow. Finally, strafe is fixed. Supposedly. Fixed an issue where percent attack rating on Power Strike was not being applied. Interesting. Fix a tooltip for multi-shot to reflect the synergy bonus. That's good that they needed to have that. Sorceress Cold Mastery is now applied at 1/5 effectiveness after an immunity is broken. Cold Source nerf! This is huge, you guys. We wanted to bring Cold Mastery in line with all the other skill-based elemental resistance-reducing effects for increased consistency. Thank God. It was so good. I mean, it was just it's still going to be insane. Fixed an issue where Fire Mastery's bonus to fire skill damage didn't apply to the additional fire damage granted by enchant on ranged weapons. Wow, it's interesting to hear bugs that existed. Updated the tooltip for enchant to better reflect the skill's effects. Druid, no! No! Fixed an underlying issue that caused Druid Shockwave skill to do an unintended amount of damage. They give it and they take it away! My Shockwave Druid, no! Shockwave is back off the menu. It wasn't even OP! It wasn't even OP. Wind Druid was still stronger. We wanted to implement target changes and buffs for the Druid instead of having a particular Druid be strong because of a bug. Well, now you've ruined it. You've ruined it. Make it not a bug and buff its damage back. It was a fun build. Now it's unplayable. I hate you. Fix terrorized treasure classes for certain super unique monsters and bosses. I wonder if that means fixing sure act bosses quest treasure class would sometimes be used instead of the terrorized treasure class. So this means you no longer have to bug Andariel? Or not bug Andariel, is my assumption. So now you always will get the terrorized drops. Okay. Fixed an issue where the current terrorized zone was not properly marked in the waypoint menu while using legacy graphics. Fixed an issue with translations that appear when the pit is the current terrorized zone. Okay. Controller, fixed an issue where skills granted by charges on a character's alternate slot weapon would have their bound hotkeys unusable when loading into a game. Fixed an issue where skills granted by charges on a character's alternate weapon slot would have their bound hot... Does this fix it so it doesn't unbind it? Please, because that's so obnoxious. For a controller. Oh, man. Fixed an issue where loot to cube skill would not function if bound to the shared interaction button. Still nice that they're having it. Still waiting for them to fix tele charge bug overall. Fixed an issue where pressing the hotkey to open the inventory while loading into the game could cause inventory UI to appear empty. Fixed an issue where shared stash could exceed the memory limit, which caused items in a player's inventory or stash to be deleted. Hey! Those couple people that messaged me saying, Mr. Llama, why did my items get deleted? Dupe fix. Fix an issue where the tooltip on the lobby season's drop down would show an inaccurate date. That's funny. Fix an issue where new entries on the leaderboard could display as unknown. Fix an issue where applying changes to controls would automatically close the settings menu. Okay. Fix an issue where changes to controls would not be immediately applied. Fix an issue where swapping between the keyboard and mouse input controller input would reset the difficulty filter in the PC lobby game list. Interesting. Add an appropriate error message when trying to create an online character with a name that's already taken on the player's online character list. The ladder flagging character creation is now disabled when there is no active ladder season. Fixed an issue with the voiceover line from Tyrael in Chinese. Uh-oh. What was Tyrael saying? Fool! You have set forth the destruction of Winnie the Pooh. Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, no, 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 no! Who put that in there? Fix an issue with the Chinese version of Deckard Cain's Stay a While and Listen voiceover dialogue. Stay a while in free Tibet. No, 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 no. Free Taiwan. Stop it. Stop it. Move the percent damage synergy field for multi-shot from Calc 4 to Calc 5 for modding. New columns have been added. Developers of existing offline single-player mods can remake their changes with the new data, or they can add the new columns before manually merging. Skills text, item use restrict, skill description, item product, item blah, 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 states, Sunder, res, reduce. Oh, that's interesting. Thank you for your continued support. We cannot wait to see you in the great race to level 99 once Ladder Season 3 begins. Good luck to all. And Mr. Lama SC, thank you so much for all of your support and changes. Wow, that's really nice that they would put that in again. The team. Wow, what a patch note. Oh my god. I mean, it's really solid. There's still things that I would say I wish. Changes I still wish. One, I wish that they would implement Mosaic's this piece somehow into the martial arts sin herself. Having some maybe chance to not remove, finishers replenishing, something of that nature, so it's not just tied to Mosaic. Two, I mean, I can understand all that stuff. I do wish the marks were gone, though, and it was implemented, again, more into the skills themselves, and not you're just using this helm. Three, I mean, that's all great right there. This is all good. I wish that they would increase the difficulty on terror zones. Again, make them a little more terrifying. I think that would be cool. 4, I wish that they just made Shockwave usable still. They didn't just make it now trash again. I mean, it's still usable and it's like tiny cents, but it was nice having that as like a fun build. 5, I wish they fixed the charge failure for teleporting bug. And obviously we all still want, you know, potential loot filter, stacking, or, you know, new crafting things, whatever. There's still plenty of things to be done there, but you know what? More character slots, yes. Oh my god. But the stuff that they did, all of the stuff here is great. I wish there was just more, but everything that they added here was great, minus the destruction of my Shockwave Druid. Otherwise, well done. Well done.